Hello, catch-up tubers, and welcome back to Let's Catch Up with me, Blue Ankylo, in Final Fantasy 2 for the Game Boy Advance. With me, Blue Ankylo. Yeah, that didn't come out quite perfect, but you get the idea. Anyway, in the last episode, we managed to make it to Mysidia, find some new magic. Still don't know where Minwu is, but we learned something about the masks, and that we need a black mask that we don't have. Someone says it. We need the other mask to get the crystal rod, to get the ultimate tomb or something. It's not down there yet, I don't think. So we're not supposed to go there yet. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, here we go. You need the black mask. Small island, middle of the sea. We've already got the white mask. Okay, so that's the plan. But for me, in my timeline, which is way different than YouTube timeline, the last episode that I recorded was like 2 weeks ago, because I had that YouTube thing and I had to make 15-minute episodes. This is my first episode for me recording Final Fantasy 2, where now I can make them longer again. Cool, that's great. But while I was waiting, I spent a bit of time upgrading my guys. So I did some grinding, let's just face it. I didn't want to progress the storyline, but I wanted to get some magic specifically, and that's really all I did. Is I sat around and I practiced casting magic, and I tried to learn the ways of the mage, because I've said before in other episodes that it sounds cool, but I just didn't have the patience for it. Well, I had a lot of time, so I got to practice. Anyway, I've done a lot of magic upgrading, as you may have noticed there. We have a lot of MP now. The HP hasn't gone up a whole lot, but the MP has. The other thing of note is I got everyone's weapon skills to their main ones to level 12 or 13. Now I also sort of diversified. I decided, Furion, you know what? You can use swords and spears, because that seems like a good knightly sort of thing to do. Maria, I gave daggers and staves, so that's cool. And then Guy gets axes and fists, actually. I let him train up his fists finally. So everyone kind of has their own 2 weapon types. I figured that diversifies a little bit. I'm not just going to teach everyone max skill. You also might notice our evasion. I'll talk about that later. Today's episode is going to cover a lot of catching up. So if you're expecting a whole lot of action, my apologies. Maybe the next video. Anyway, because we've been leveling up shields so much, our evasion stat and our agility is super, super high. So we're wearing things like, we're not even really wearing the thieves' gloves anymore, or anything that boosts your agility other than the cuirasses, which are light. Other than that, we're just using a shield and having high agility, and everyone, and I mean all 3 party members that I made, who cares about Layla? They all have 99% evasion, and the 10 means how many attacks they can dodge. So unless an enemy can do 12 attacks, or 11 or 12, they basically can't be hurt, by physical anyway. So that's awesome. So that was the one thing. Evasion, agility became really strong. The only downside to that is our stamina is very low, because we never take physical damage, so our stamina never improves, unfortunately. So that covers that. Now the next step was, okay, how did I get such high skill levels? Well, it turns out that, surprise, not these guys, let's just murder them. But essentially, the monsters around here, you can train your weapon skill really, really high. Like, I don't even know what the cap is. At least 13 or 14. Let's see. Not specifically bombs, but whatever. If you fight around Mysidia, you can get your weapon skills basically as high as you want, as far as I can tell. I think the highest is 16, and I can get up to... let's just quickly check here. 13 at least, anyway. Yeah, okay, 13 and a little bit more, so it probably goes up to 14, judging by Guy. So anyway, that's a little bit crazy. So weapons, cool. I'm using the same weapons from before, the Flame Lance, Power Staff, Ogre Killer, so none of that's new. Same equipment, just higher skills. And when I was training, grinding away, mostly I was just casting magic, because I wanted to, try off some different stuff. So in the next couple battles here, I'll show you how the magic works. If I can get a good encounter that demonstrates this well, because I've got a few things to explain to the YouTubes. Alright, so bombs. As you may know, bombs are weak against thunder. You may not know this, but in this game, that's the truth. So if I try a couple different elements here, and Layla can just, I don't know, have a potion, whatever, waste her turn. So a level 8 blizzard will do not very much, I don't think. 300 damage, not specifically awesome. Fire, similarly, not that great, probably. Oh, never mind, they're weak against fire as well. But anyway, that's the point. What I've been meaning to get across is, in a lot of games, a weakness to an element means, I don't know, 50% more damage, maybe double damage, something like that. In this game, weakness to an element means like quadruple damage. That's like 4 times, give or take, I've guessed, just from my practice here. If you know what a monster is weak against, let's just zip through all this. If you know what they're weak against, you can absolutely dominate them with magic. I happen to know that these guys are all weak against fire. So even multi-targeted level 8, this should just destroy them, basically. Yeah, 500 damage to everything, no problem. So the point is, your basic fire, thunder, blizzard spells, once you know which monsters are weak against which, are great. Now these are like standard flan type monsters, so they're very strong against physical, so you need to know which element to use. Now I'm going to use these guys to also demonstrate something. I've been leveling up Holy, white magic, attack magic. Everyone has level 8, attack magic. So we're going to, oops, no, I want to target a different guy. And you'll be able to see how the elements sort of match up. And I don't care what you do, just whatever, you'll miss. So Holy does, we'll just keep a reference, about 700 damage. Pretty awesome. They're not weak against Holy. Thunder, strong against it, 170. Fire, weak, 2000 damage. Again, look at that massive difference in damage. So yeah, basically if you can take advantage of elemental weaknesses, you will do well. So that's my tip of the day, basically. Know which monsters are weak against which. Scourge is your poison elemental. It's good against some things. Fire, blizzard, thunder are good against things. Holy, there's actually not a lot of monsters weak against Holy from my experience. Oops, I used the wrong thing. I think they're weak against thunder or something. You gotta really keep on track of what they're weak against. I think it's thunder. Let's just zip through this quick. Thunder 8 does, yeah, that's probably the right one. So anyway, that's the point. Okay, so that's the thing. Basically, that was that message. Figure out what element your monsters are weak against, and suddenly magic is good. Cool. It still takes a lot of time to train it up, unfortunately. Yes, I wasted a lot of time. The last thing I want to talk about today, the last, I promise, is MP growth. Remember I talked about MP growth? This is the spell you want, and it's going to take a while before it really kicks in. It's called Sap. And yes, I'm targeting my own guys with an offensive spell. Why? Well, you'll see. That's what it looks like. We have huge magic evasion, so it doesn't actually work very often, unfortunately. It probably works slightly better if you just target a single person with it. Let's just, yeah. So basically what ends up happening is you're going to have to do this for a while. Who do you want to grow MP? And I don't want you to kill it, so just waste time. So Sap, 0, 239. Now that was half of her total MP, and that's it. And then we're just going to attack, and let's see if we get lucky here. Maria's MP went up. So basically, and her magic, and some whatever, point is, now we finally have Sap, we can actually improve our own max MP without too much difficulty. So it's a little bit cheaty, but I guarantee you, if you don't do something like that, you're not going to grow your max MP, and that sucks. So anyway, that covers that. I'm almost done. Let's just rest up quick. I don't want to waste too much time. The last thing, I guess, is I think I mentioned earlier that I didn't know what Aura does. Actually, there's a couple things for white magic. It's actually took me a bit of research to figure that out. I'm going to start traveling to the next area, I think. But I'll explain how Aura works on the way. So we're traveling, I believe, to the yellow dot in the big ocean, sort of southeast of us. So that's where I'm going to head. Aura, and it did take a fair bit of research to actually figure this out. It grants to a party member a elemental attack to their weapon, basically, like thunder, fire, ice. It's like Fire Sword or something like that in different Final Fantasies. But it doesn't exactly tell you which one. So if I cast Aura level 2 on, say, Furion, whether he gets like fire, ice, or lightning, I'm not sure. And I think the way it works is, like a lot of spells in this game, At the low levels, they just do one thing. Esuna level 1 cures, I think, poison. Esuna level 2 cures darkness, but not poison. So it's kind of finicky like that. Now let's just zip through these. These are easy. As they get higher levels, they start to add in multiple effects. So at a higher level, Esuna will cure more and more until eventually all status ailments. And I believe Aura works the same way. Eventually, it will apply Fire, Lightning, Blizzard, maybe even Holy and Death for all I know. All the elements to your weapon. And that actually makes it pretty strong. Because as I explained earlier, enemies have a extreme weakness to elements. It's not like a lot of games. Like I said, you know, most games, if you're weak against fire, it does maybe double damage, maybe 50% damage, something like that, higher, but not as extreme. In this one, if you know what a monster is weak against, you know, you got him almost straight south. So anyway, that's enough of my rambling. You know, 10 minutes into the episode, but I wanted to catch you guys up on that because I thought it was kind of interesting. The game mechanics for this game are unusual compared to most games. So anyway, that's kind of the difficulty with Magic, besides the fact that it's hard to level up. Esuna doesn't cure all status ailments until you get it fairly high level. I figured 6 hopefully is enough. You have to use sap on your own characters to gain MP. Swap is good for leveling, but I didn't feel like leveling anymore. Teleport, oh yeah, I was going to show you that. Teleport in battle. Now this should be where we need to go, so I'll start this dungeon at least. We'll make some progress today. Teleport, as you know, escapes you from a dungeon. It's also incredibly effective death magic. Like, I generally don't do death magic. I'm not a big debuff type person, but look at that. It killed 5 out of 7 monsters. No problem. Like, that was pretty good. It's surprisingly effective, so I recommend giving it a shot. It's not like a death spell that takes up a slot that you might use otherwise. You're going to want someone who has teleport. Now, I've never seen these before, so I'm assuming... I don't know what they're weak against, actually. Scourge, maybe? Let's just try some different elements, see what happens. I haven't fought yellow jellies before, I don't think. So let's just practice. Scourge, Poison Elemental. They all seem to have fairly similar base strengths. Well, that didn't work. I think Holy does a little bit higher base damage than the other ones, but less things are weak against it, as it turns out. Oh, Ice works, no problem. So there you go. And then it's Bolt against those, or whatever. Fire works too. So anyway, what was I saying? I don't know. Point is, elements are good. Right, Teleport. It's a good spell. Use it. What am I doing? Let's just start massacring these things. Blizzard. And I do have enough MP now that I can spam spells a little bit better like that. Like, I don't feel like I'm going to run out so easily. Back when I was stuck in the under 100 or just in the low hundreds, I really felt like every battle, if I used magic very much, I was going to run out before I got to the boss. But now, you know, I'm feeling pretty good. High Potion. Another one of these lame treasure dungeons. Okay, these guys, you've seen them. They're nothing. Our physical attacks are doing awesome. So, it's true. I still like weapons better. But I'm trying to convince you guys that magic's not all bad. I still don't think magic can compete with 1,300 damage per shot. But you know how it is. Also... Oh, right. I forgot about that. You can kill them. It's not that easy. What else was I going to say? That's a dead end. Something about weapons and shields. So yeah, shields, overpowered. You know, 99% evasion. We never get hit. Overpowered. It's cheap. It's a dirty trick. It's a dirty, rotten cheat, as far as I'm concerned. But that's what it is, so I'm going to use it. Oh yeah, double weapons. So if you equip like Layla there, she gets 2 attacks, right? If you've been watching, she gets 2 different attacks. Supposedly both about 99%. They will use her her 11, so she'll get 11 strikes with her dagger, 11 strikes with the staff, both pretty high accuracy. So when we're in battle, she gets 2 hits. Now, I'm just gonna take a second here to explain something else. Notice with Guy, he's got 74 attack, 13 hits with the Ogre Killer. If I give him 2 Ogre Killers, I've got 2, he will do... It's actually... The way the game calculates... I'll have a battle here. Hopefully I can explain this without too much trouble. These aren't the best, but if you watch when he attacks... hopefully this makes sense. 12 hits, 8 hits. So he gets his attack split in half there, basically. 2 different strikes. It's not combined into the same one, basically, if that covers it. So when you equip 2 weapons, you basically take each of their attack power and you get 2 strikes. It's really good for lots of damage, but it doesn't break defense terribly well if someone has really high defense, like those monsters that we just fought. If, on the other hand, I was to do something like this, and I'll prove my point here. One-handed attack does 64 damage, 12 hits. You know, he's not quite as skilled, only 12 skill. But if you equip two-handed, so no shield at all this time, 128 attack. Now, that looks the same as when we had 2 weapons, right? Double the attack power because you've got 2. But watch when he attacks what happens. Instead of what Layla does, Layla gets 9 hits and then 10 hits. Guy gets just 11 hits, and that's it. He also did, like, double damage. The reason that's important is more so early on in the game. But remember when we were fighting all those monsters, like the Adamantoise and the Sergeants and stuff, that we could barely injure, basically, like 0 damage all the time? If you go dual-wielding fist, essentially, you will do enough damage to break them. That's why I could probably recommend unarmed for you, particularly for those areas when you need to break high defense early on in the game. Now it's not so bad. Our weapons are very powerful anyway, but early on, unarmed, very cool. So anyway, hopefully that's been fairly informative. I kind of had fun learning how it worked. You know, maybe not all that interesting to just everyone, but I thought it was cool. So yeah, I'll probably finish that up for now. There's not really anything else I was going to explain, but we need to get back to the game, you know. We need to figure out what's going on. We need to find this black mask somewhere in this dungeon. Scourge. Oh, that's good, actually. Guy didn't know Scourge yet, so that's cool. It's one that you can't buy, so. We also might be at the point in the game where I could legitimately run from some encounters to save time. And I might. I am probably what you consider over-leveled at this point. Another Scourge Tome. Cool. I didn't really mean to. It was kind of an accident. I was just trying to level up my magic, really, and get a little bit more MP. But because it took a long time, all my other stats ended up gaining so much. And as it turned out, the monsters around Mysidia really let you level up your skills a lot more than I was anticipating. So I'm probably too high a level now. So my apologies if you're hoping for a challenge around here. At least it makes it nice and easy to play. There's really nothing to worry about. There's like 2 stairways on this one. That's tricky. You know what? Let's just run from these guys. Yeah. Too much hassle. Hopefully I don't get too lost in here. But yeah, the game's pretty easy at this point. Mostly because I did a bit of grinding. Yeah, these things, heck with them. Let's just get out of there. So that's the other stairs down. Okay, so I probably went... Have we fought these? These are new. I probably went the correct direction to get to the end, but I might have missed some treasure. Oh no, we might have missed some high potions. I'll go back later, probably. Let's see. 18-minute video. Let's see, how much can I get done today? Alright, you're nothing. Not scared of you guys. No, this is starting to feel a little bit more mazy. There's starting to be a lot of branches and up and downs and stuff. Where should we go? Treasure's always good. $1,000 bucks. Well, that's pointless. We also have a lot of money, if you've wondered. Yeah, if you're having a hard time in the game, at this point, basically, all I could say is try to suffer through a bit of grinding. Maybe don't worry about magic too much, other than cure and stuff. I'll just go this way randomly. Oh look, some treasure. Death Idol. What the heck does that do? Just try to force yourself to do a bit of cast fear. Cool. Force yourself to do a bit of grinding. I certainly recommend the shield method. 1 weapon and a shield. Basically, once you've got your evasion up and your agility up, nothing can hurt you. Like, even if we weren't doing, like, you know, 1,000,000 damage a shot, nothing can hit us, right? So it's not too dangerous unless there's magic, you know. But there's not a lot of monsters with magic around here, you know. Like, also of note, if I didn't explain it, because we have such high agility, we almost always get a preemptive strike. Like, if you've been watching, basically every encounter has been a preemptive strike. Not only that, but after the preemptive strike, our characters still go first. So we basically get 2 free rounds of attacks every time we start a battle. So again, the shield evasion method, I knew I was on the right track. I could only remember a little bit from previous playthroughs, but I remember thinking that was how to do it. And I think I've confirmed it. Shield for high evasion and agility, best way to play the game. Whatever weapons you pick, whatever magic you pick, throw a shield on them and you'll be better. So anyway, how far? I'm trying to finish this dungeon if I can. The loot hasn't been particularly great, so I don't mind just zipping to the end of it if I can. If I can traverse the maze. Dual heads, yeah, they're not scary. So yeah, anyway, also if you're playing the NES version, the tricks don't work as well. Things are more difficult in NES version for sure. I didn't get a preemptive strike for once. Not like it matters. We still go first anyway. Alright. A lot of junky treasure chests. Wow, I'm not too happy with the treasure these days. I mean, okay, the Scourge Tome, that was cool, but I guess we just took the wrong stairs down, basically. Dratted mazes. Alright, I'm going to try to finish this off this episode. See if I can remember the way back and find a different branch. You know how it is. I've generally got a pretty good head for mazes, most of the time. Spent a lot of time when I was a kid playing these sorts of games, so I can generally map out a dungeon in my head half decently. I don't know how you guys do it, but you know. So what else? What can we talk about? You know, how long do you think this Let's Play is going to go for? I actually think we're getting fairly close to the end now. Things are going to speed up. I shouldn't need to do any more grinding. I don't think, anyway. I need to take the other stairs from this level, yeah. I don't think I'm going to need to do any more specific grinding to finish, I hope. So, and I mean, the fights here, you can see, we're just blasting through this stuff like nothing. So, whether I intended it or not, point is, it's not very hard anymore. Oops, wrong way. Having a hard time. Okay, yeah, it's 1 more stairs up, and then to the other way down. That's what I wanted, yeah. Alright, so, yeah, I'm going to try to zip through, and then after this I can get on to, you know, other games and stuff. Not that there's anything wrong with playing Final Fantasy 2. There's also a question of whether or not I do the bonus dungeon at the end. I've never actually done it before, so maybe I will. I might, oops, didn't mean to fight these guys. I might end the Let's Play when I finish this game, you know, win the last boss fight and everything. And I might just do occasional uploads of the bonus dungeon, because I'm not sure how that's going to go just yet. But we'll see how it goes. If you want to see me do the final challenge dungeon, you can let me know. It's not with the main characters, if you're wondering. You actually have 4 different characters. They're kind of secret for now, but you know. Anyway, so that's up for debate. You know, I could do that. I don't know. I've just been getting the feeling like I want to finish this and Borderlands 2. So anyway, thanks for watching, and we made it. We made it all the way to the end, and we'll explore this strange mask-like village in the next episode. And I won't worry about, you know, boring you guys to death with the math and details again next time. So hopefully you could cope with it. If not, sorry. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.